Hello everyone, my name is Roman and today we're going to be continuing with Unit 1. Topic 1.2 here is about resource allocation and economic systems. Alright, so each society has to answer three economic questions. The three being, number one, what goods and services should be produced? Number two, how should these goods and services be produced? Number three, who consumes these goods and services? And then the way these questions are answered is what determines the economic system. The economic system then is the method used by a society to produce and distribute goods and services. So we're looking at three types of economic systems: the command economy or centrally planned economy. Number two, the free market economy. And number three, the most common, the mixed economy. All right, the command or centrally planned economy is what we're going to start off with here, aka communism. It's where the government is going to own all the resources and answer all three of those economic questions. Just some basic examples here, of course. North Korea is a big one. And the big problem with centrally planned economies is that you don't have good quality goods. They're going to be very low quality. You're often not going to have enough of what the citizens are desiring. You're going to have a shortage in quantity, and therefore you're going to have unhappy citizens. And that's because there's little incentive to work harder. If everyone's getting paid the same amount, there's no true benefit to working harder or innovating or anything like that. And additionally, the central planners are going to have a hard time predicting the preferences of actual people. Therefore, you're going to get lower quality goods, less goods, and unhappy citizens. All right, free market system, capitalism. Here, we have little government involvement in the economy. It's essentially just run by the people as individuals own resources and answer the three economic questions. And the opportunity to make profit is what gives people the incentive to produce quality items efficiently. The wide variety of goods are available to consumers as opposed to just the centrally planned economy where you just have the government making the goods. Here, since you have the incentive to make such goods, there's going to be a larger variety as there are going to be more people competing in order to make certain goods. And that competition and self-interest work together to regulate the economy, keep prices down and quality up. For example, we have one here dealing with smartphones. So if consumers want smartphones and only one company is making them, other businesses have the incentives to start making smartphones and earn profit. Therefore, that's going to create competition between the different companies, which will lower the prices so that way they can sell as opposed to the other company. And then it's going to also increase the quality because if you have two items, say they are the same in quality, you're going to choose the one of the lower price. And if two items are the same price, you're going to choose the one of higher quality. So that's why it is driving down the price and driving the quality up. Additionally, just by having more companies in general that are going to make more products, you're going to have a product variety of stuff that you can then choose from. And then we produce those goods and services that society wants because resource follows profit. If you ever watch Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful always likes to say to follow the money. It's the same concept here. The end result is that you get more efficient production of the goods that consumers want, and they are produced at the lowest prices and the highest quality. So an example of why centrally planned economies or communism really fails is that, sticking with this smartphone example here, we're looking at communism wants smartphones if consumers want smartphones and only one company is making them, then other businesses can't start making smartphones because only the government is making the smartphones. So therefore, there's no competition, meaning the prices are just going to be high. There's nothing driving those prices down. There's nothing driving that quality up. So therefore, you're going to have the high prices. You're going to have the low quality. And since they're the only ones making it, you're not going to have as much product variety. There's not going to be as much to choose from. Therefore, the phones will not be made until the government decides to create a new factory. So you get what you get. End result, you don't have enough goods that people actually want, and they're higher priced and lower of quality. All right, that really leads into the invisible hand. The invisible hand is this concept that society's goals will be met as individuals seek their own self-interest. A good example here, we're looking at fuel-efficient cars. So if profit-seeking producers, remember self-interested, people are self-interested, so we're looking for profit, producers will make more. So that competition then between firms results in the lower prices as just discussed and higher quality, greater efficiency. Therefore, the government does not need to get involved since society is automatically dealing with its own needs. By acting in its self-interest, we have driven prices down, we've driven quality up, we've gotten to the point where we're making enough of what we need to make. The government does not need to be involved, and society has done what it needs to do on its own, and that is the whole idea of the invisible hand. So mixed economy are the most common ones. It's what we are in America, and it combines them both. Obviously, the government is involved, but it is largely driven by the free market, the invisible hand. And countries with free markets, things like property rights, the law is actually enforced. They have a rule of law. They, at least in the past and up to date, they show and have seen greater economic growth because they're more productive. So third world countries, you see a picture on the left of it being taken by cattle as opposed to the farming being done by a large tractor where we're being more productive. All right, the circular flow model. It's kind of this complex model, but once you break it down, it'll make a little bit more sense. And that's what we've done here. It's broken down. So we start with the resource market and the product market. All right, resource up here, product down here. So there's the two different markets where things are sold. You either are selling resources in the resource market or you're selling products like goods and services in the product market. And we have businesses and individuals. These are what are going to be the people and businesses that are going to be selling and buying these things. So businesses are going to sell goods and services in the product market, and then the goods and services are going to be consumed and bought by the individuals. Therefore, the individuals spend money in the product market, which is then revenue generated for the businesses. That means the businesses right now are supplying the goods and services here, and then we, the individuals, are demanding the goods and services here. Moving up to the resource market, resources like the factors of production, such as land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, the resources here are being provided by the individuals in the resource market, and the businesses are using those resources that the individuals are providing. Therefore, the businesses are going to have to pay that cost, and that cost is then income to the individuals. Therefore, the individuals in the resource market are supplying the resources, and the businesses demand those resources supplied by individuals. Now, throw in the government here, and we're looking at how the product market, let's start with the product market. The product market gives products, goods and services from the businesses, goods and services, product market to the government. The government in turn pays money. Same thing in the resource market. Individuals are going to provide resources. People obviously work in and for the government, and then in turn, the government pays those people. And the government then sells or gives public goods, provides public goods, I should say, to businesses and individuals, such as roads for us to drive on, bridges for us to cross large, bodies of water. And in turn, we pay taxes. That's how the government really makes money, taxes. And just an additional thing here, the government also pays out subsidies and transfer payments to individuals being like welfare. Subsidies are really when the government sees companies doing what is considered to be good or something that they like, they'll hand out subsidies. And of course, we're going to go into this stuff more in depth, but this is a good model. Once you can break it down and see where everything is going, it really makes sense and helps understand this whole market of the resources as opposed to products in relation to businesses, individuals, and the government. And that is it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.